Did you know that you could be slowly damaging your car just by trying to keep it clean? That's right. Washing your car wrong can actually be worse than not washing it at all. So, most people think it's simple. Just grab a bucket, hose, sponge, maybe an old t-shirt, and boom, job done. Well, no. It sounds strange, but it's true. These habits can lead to scratches, water spots, faded paint, and even long-term damage to your car's protective clear coat. In fact, many of those dull, hazy finishes you see on cars weren't caused by weather or age. They were caused by bad cleaning routines. So that's why in this video, we're going to walk you through the top 10 car cleaning mistakes people make every day without realizing it, and more importantly, how to avoid them. And stick around till the end, because the final mistake is one that millions of people think is actually safer, when in reality, it's probably the worst thing you can do to your paint. So, one of the most common cleaning mistakes starts right at the beginning: washing from top to bottom. Now, don't get this wrong, washing from the roof down is technically the right order. People will wash their cars in sections, which makes sense, door by door, panel by panel, but here's the problem. They'll start with the first door, wash it top to bottom, then move straight to the next without rinsing their mitt. So whatever dirt they picked up from the bottom half of the first door just gets carried right over to the top of the next door. Now, that grit is being dragged into cleaner and more delicate areas. So these swirls and scratches aren't just random. This is how they happen. And most of the time, people are using just one bucket, so they dip that dirty mitt right back into the soapy water and the whole bucket becomes contaminated. Now, every section of the car is being washed with water that's no longer clean. This is where the two-bucket method comes in. One bucket is for clean, soapy water, and the other is just for rinsing your mitt off every single time you finish a panel. That rinse bucket keeps the dirt from going back into the soap. Skipping this step might not show up right away, but over time, you'll notice it. Now, let's say you're doing everything right, and suddenly your wash mitt slips. It's now on the driveway. Most people give it a quick shake, maybe a rinse, and keep going. That is mistake number 2. Because the second your mitt or microfiber touches the ground, it picks up small rocks. You may not see it, but it's there. And if you rub that across your paint, instant micro scratches. If this happens, stop using that mitt. Either rinse it thoroughly in clean water, not your soap bucket, or better yet, grab a clean backup. Having an extra mitt on hand takes seconds to prepare, but it can save your paint from a ton of damage. Now, one mistake that almost every driver makes. A lot of drivers are in a rush, or maybe they figure a little dirt's no big deal. But every time you wash without softening or rinsing off grime first, you're forcing your mitt to do all the heavy lifting. And that's exactly when the scratching happens. Think of it like doing the dishes. Would you scrub a crusty pan without soaking it first? Probably not. Your car deserves the same kind of prep. Even if it's just a quick rinse with a hose, it makes a massive difference in how safe your wash is. Another huge mistake people make is using just one bucket. It seems easier. Fill it up with soap and water, dunk the mitt, wash the car. Simple. But the problem is, when every time you dip that mitt back into the soap, you're contaminating it with dirt you just picked up off the car. You're not just washing, you're recycling debris over and over again. The better method is to use 2 buckets, one for clean soapy water and one for just rinsing. After every pass, rinse the mitt in the clean water first, and then you go back to the soap. This keeps your wash water cleaner, your mitt safer, and your paint scratch-free. It's a small change that makes a big difference. Now, let's talk about the sun. Washing your car under direct sunlight might feel relaxing. A nice sunny day, water running, the car shining, but it's one of the most damaging ways to clean your vehicle. The sun heats up your paint, and that causes both soap and water to dry way too fast. What you're left with are streaks, spots, and in some cases, etched-in minerals that don't just wipe away. Especially on dark-colored cars, this can age your paint in months instead of years. So here, the fix is easy. Just wash early in the morning, later in the evening, or in the shade. Keep the car wet as you go and never let soap or water dry on the surface. Now, here's a mistake that's easy to overlook. using dirty or worn out tools. You've got your trusty mitt, your favorite drying towel, maybe some old microfibers that have one more wash left in them. But these tools wear down, and over time, they trap debris and lose softness and start doing more harm than good. Even dirty buckets can become part of the problem, especially if you don't rinse them out between washes. If your drying towel starts to feel stiff, it's time to replace it. If your mitt looks matted or grimy, it's not doing its job anymore. Proper car care starts with clean, fresh tools, because even the best washing technique means nothing if your gear is already contaminated. Speaking of drying, here's another common mistake. So you just finished washing the car and now it's time to dry. So you grab a paper towel or maybe an old t-shirt or that bath towel you don't mind ruining. But what most people don't realize is that these materials aren't designed for automotive paint. They're abrasive, they don't lift water, they drag it, and they can leave behind tiny scratches or streaks that dull your finish over time. The best way to dry a car is with a soft, clean microfiber drying towel. They're designed to absorb water and glide gently across the surface. Add a little drying aid or a quick detailer spray to reduce friction even more, and your car will thank you every time. Now let's go back to the beginning, to the soap. This might surprise you, but using dish soap or kitchen degreasers is a huge mistake. Yes, dish soap cuts grease, that's why it works on pans and plates. But it also strips wax, sealants, and the protective layer on your paint. What feels like a deep clean is actually a fast track to a dry, dull, unprotected surface. And once that clear coat starts to break down, your paint is vulnerable to UV rays, oxidation, and contamination. So make sure to always use a car-specific pH-balanced shampoo. They're designed to clean your vehicle without stripping its protection. Even the budget-friendly ones are better than anything under your kitchen sink. And now for a mistake that happens during interior cleaning but still damages the outside. You've got the vacuum out. You're cleaning under the seats, reaching into corners, and then the hose swings around and taps the door panel. Maybe it drags across the paint. It seems harmless, right? But vacuum hoses are hard plastic, and one slip is all it takes to leave a scratch or a chip. So always keep one hand on the hose to guide it, or better yet, wrap the end in a microfiber towel for protection. Interior cleaning shouldn't come at the cost of damaging your exterior. And now, the final mistake. The one that seems the most convenient, and yet it's probably the worst. Taking your car through a drive-thru car wash. Look, we get it. They're fast, they're cheap, and they seem harmless. But those spinning brushes, they're rarely cleaned, and every bit of dirt from every car before you is now getting whipped across your paint at high speed. Even touchless car washes often use harsh chemicals to strip away wax and dry out your trim. If you care about your car's finish, skip the drive-thru, wash by hand when you can, or take it to a reputable hand wash detailer who uses safe tools and methods. It takes a little longer, but it's a difference between a finish that lasts 5 years and one that shines for 15. So, washing your car should feel simple, but doing it the right way just takes a little extra awareness. You don't need expensive tools or a detailing studio, you just need the right habits. Rinse before you wash, use clean mitts, towels, and buckets, avoid the sun, skip the drive-thru wash, and above all, treat your car's paint like you'd treat your phone screen. Gently, carefully, and with the right materials. If this video helped you out, hit that like button, drop a comment, and let us know. What's one car care mistake you've made in the past? And stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll show you how to protect your car's finish with wax, sealants, and ceramic coatings, including what actually works, what's a waste of money, and how long each one really lasts. Thanks for watching, and as always, drive clean and drive safe.